Well, we welcome you all back to another episode of Trash Talk. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Brandon is as the last show we told you he was getting ready to remodel his studio, and you can see that we have just been moving like gangbusters to get this project completed.
I'm moving like, the government, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah, you're
the
still in committee.
yeah, guys, this is the biggest struggle of my life because I have set up this thing multiple. I spent most of the day yesterday playing around with it. And as you can see, all I've done was backed myself into a corner, literally. Um, we
Goes
are
back to your
now in the
childhood days.
Yes, we are now in the phase of we're going to move everything else around the studio. I have, I hung this up. Stuart gave this to me. I hung this up like four times and have removed it. I have wires all on the floor, speakers on the floor. I have a stack of eggshells this high sitting right there. You guys don't know what those are, figure it out. Um, is it eggshells? Am I saying that right? Yes.
Is that what it is, the eggshell containers, or it's a baffle?
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, yeah. It's to deaden the sound.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not the containers of eggshells, but I call them that because that's what it looks like, the little styrofoam.
Right.
Really nice colors too. They're like a dark purple. Well,
Oh,
fancy. But I have some really cool art stuff I want. Guys, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't. I'm about to just put it back in the old spot and be like, all right, screw everybody. But I need to move it. It's I need a
so
bigger I think I need a separate room. If we're being honest, and that's not going to happen till Luke turns like 18. So
yes.
10 more years, guys, I will have a separate room.
There you go. Then you'll have a studio, to end all studios.
I know. I just need to figure this out. I need to dive in and really do the logistics. I have a vision. I don't know how to execute that vision, but I have a vision. So,
Yeah.
um, in the meantime, welcome to this reminds me of the early days of Trash Talk, to be honest with you. Back when I was sitting on, like, at my breakfast bar, sitting on a bar stool. I'll never forget those early few shows. We had no logo. We didn't do green screen very much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I remember I had a shitty microphone, a crappy microphone, sorry. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then you became this star.
I'm like the dollar store Joe Rogan.
Yeah. But I mentioned to you that you remodel the bathroom when the toilet won't flush. It's
That's what you do.
you get this idea. I just want to fix this up and change it a little bit. No, now you're in the process of, let me see. I got to move the bed and I got to move the dresser and move everything else in the room to accommodate what I think I want to do in this corner.
My TV is on the floor right now.
Along with your equipment and wires and
It's
everything
all
else.
lined up
Yeah.
because I like using the TV sometimes. I don't want to use it anymore, but I like using the TV. I put it on YouTube, and I use the white screen. It's just this, and I like it because it actually does a really nice job on the light on the other side. I don't want to do that anymore, but I can hear this echoing because I don't have anything on the walls right now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Anyway, this one corner over here looks great. It has nothing to do with my studio, but it looks great. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? I'm actually, it's funny because I actually recorded one of my own shows yesterday. I took a break and I recorded another episode so I could get further ahead. Um, and I went back to just old school podcasting, no video.
Well,
Um,
I mean, you've done some of your casting from the front seat of your car.
yes.
You've done it outdoors on the patio.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. I don't think you always have to have like a proper video or proper setup. Sometimes it gets really boring. Um, but I did it. Yeah, I did it yesterday with just the microphone, no camera. I kind of miss those days of podcasting, to be honest with you. Just hearing. I mean, that's really where I started was I withheld on the videos, minus social media for a long time. You've always done the videos.
Well, no, actually, when I started my other show, it was in a radio studio. In fact,
You're right.
our first show that
Yes,
we
you're
did
right.
together was in a radio studio, and it was radio. It
You're
was
right.
just audio, no
Yeah, you're
visual.
right. I forgot
You
about
know,
that.
yeah. Then Facebook came in and they started adding cameras to studios and everything became both visual and audio.
I do like the option of both visual and audio. That's what I like. You know, you go to Spotify and you go to play our show, you can watch it or listen to it.
Yeah,
Same thing with mine. But yeah, you're right. We were literally in a radio. That was cool too.
yeah.
There's something about that, just being able to get wrapped in the conversation without the visual.
Yeah. The downside was there were times that we had, 2 minutes until airtime, and I'm still waiting for a guest to show up.
That's true. By the way, guys, that was not me.
No,
I was there on time.
he, he was there because he was on the doorstep of the studio early in the morning waiting for us to open up.
Just sitting there like he told me to
Yeah,
be here.
right, right. Yeah. I remember the first words out of your mouth. You guys got coffee?
Yeah, you guys got some coffee. I'm dying here. But yeah, so there'll be some changes coming. It's time. It's 2026. I need to upgrade and update, and I've been talking about it forever. And it's not that I'm a procrastinator. It's just I have a laundry. I'm like Santa Claus, except not as fat. I have a list that's a mile long, and some of those things take priority over what I got to do.
Right. And you're all set to start working on the list. And then you decide, let me see, let me reprioritize these things too. And number
Yeah.
19 now becomes number 8. And
That's just it. It's like, when I was talking about 3 months ago redoing the studio and I started that process, um, I bought all the things I needed and I started putting them up and I said, man, I think I want to move the studio and go this, and here we are now. Um,
well,
I
see,
figured since I'm off work, might as well do it, right?
right. And now you've already blown one day.
Look, I got to go back to work next Monday. Okay.
So in other words, there is a chance that by next week the studio will be put
There,
together.
well, it's not just calm down. Okay,
Don't push you.
but I think in the next 2 weeks, I think one day y'all gonna turn on trash talking and be like, oh my God, Brendan did it.
Yeah.
That's
So,
how we're gonna know, guys. So I
but
don't know.
and the alternative is there's always green screen, and you can just
There is.
like
There
like
is.
like my show. I have this photo of a studio of a
Hmm.
radio studio with all the equipment and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and I sit there in front of the microphone and I get some of my guests on, and they all say to me, "Wow, you got a great looking studio." And I say, "Yeah, it's a photo." You know,
Yeah. I've done that too. I've done green screen too a couple times where more for pictures or something.
yeah,
And I don't mind the green screen and I could do that, but I kind of like to keep it just raw.
yeah. See,
But
for those that are watching and listening, you have to determine, am I actually sitting in my backyard right now, or is that a photo behind me?
it could be both. It depends what day of the week it is.
I'll tell you what, my wife keeps asking me to clean it up, so that should be a hint.
But yeah, it's a lot. I don't think people realize like what goes into the little show. You know what I mean? As opposed to, yeah, I mean, there's a lot bigger shows. But the thing is about some of these bigger shows, they got people. They got people
Well,
that do things for them. I've
right.
had a few people that have helped me out with my pod, back, especially during COVID. I mean, not that I want to go back to that horrible time, but there was some really cool things that happened during that time, and I got to work in real studios, and my buddy would help me do sound and stuff and edit for me because he had nothing else going on. And then all of a sudden, he had to go to work or something. But people don't realize the time it takes to out of your day to get in here and like do all this stuff just
Well,
for some interaction. Sometimes you get,
yeah.
it's a lot.
And that's also time that you have to find in addition to doing the actual show.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
just the prep work.
yeah, because we do our shtick right here and all, and then I turn to my producer and all. She
Hmm.
puts it all together and she loads it up and she puts it on all the streaming sites and everything. And I
Yep.
don't do any of that. Now you do a lot of your own production work
Yeah.
and promotion work and everything. But I don't know if I have the talent or the time to do that in addition to doing all the rest of this stuff.
I don't know if I do either. But I will tell you this, it has been more exhausting lately to do my show. Not this show, because we've managed, knock on wood, to be on a roll lately. So we're like, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah,
But it's been a daunting task to do my show lately because not because of ideas. I am struggling a little because I have a lot of things I want to talk about, but unfortunately, they're not great things. And I don't know if I mentally want to keep talking about it. I think it's important, but I also know what it does to me. So I need to take a break from that. But also besides that, it's the timing of it. By
yeah,
the time I get to, let's just assume like Luke's at school, Luke's with his mom, whatever. I don't have him. That's something I don't have to worry about as far as dad tasks. But then I'm like, okay, I'm at work. So there's 9 hours maybe. Then I come home. Okay, I'm going to eat dinner. There's another hour. I'm going to tidy up the place. There's another hour. Okay, now what time is it? Oh, it's 8:30 at night. Okay. Well, I guess I could record. Well, there's an hour. Now
right,
I'm going to edit. There's 30 minutes. And before you know it, you've got one show done, but you wanted to knock out three.
right, right.
I'm just struggling on that time management thing.
Well, also for us, because of the world we live in right now, there are a lot of really cutting edge topics that we could be talking about, which and anytime you turn the TV on, that's all they're talking about. And we'd like to put our 2 cents worth in, but we've always tried to escape that and bring our show a little bit more to the lighter side of the news. That's getting harder and harder to do.
Well, it is because in one aspect too, and that's the struggle I'm having, and is I think these things should be talked about in the right way,
Right.
not necessarily so much the mainstream media way. I think they should be talked about from everyday people like you and me. Also, we're either really upset and we need people to understand why, because I don't think enough people are upset about certain things, or maybe some people don't understand the scope of it. So we're like, hey, let me put the ABCs down without all the fluff so you guys can understand that. But it's exhausting and it's mentally draining, you know?
It is, and it requires a heck of a lot more preparation than it does. Sometimes, honestly, folks, we do prepare sometimes for this show, but most of the time it's just three, two, one, hit the record button, and we just let loose. Whatever
Yeah,
whatever comes out, and
agree.
hopefully, I mean, you've been following us for over 5 years now, folks.
Jeez.
So we must be doing something right.
You know
Either
what I
that
need to do?
or you have set the bar so low in your life.
Well, that's probably both, but um, I need to look at what episode we're on. I don't know what episode number we're on.
What episode number we are on? I would have to go back and do that also, but I know that
Yeah.
we're coming up this summer. We'll hit 6 years. So
Jesus.
we're 5.5 years in already. So if you kind of do the math, it's over 250 episodes or so.
Oh, it's got to be more than that,
Yeah. Well,
right?
Yeah, 52
50,
episodes a
yeah.
year, you
Yeah, you're
know.
right.
Yeah.
I'm only at episode 288 um on my show. I thought I'd be higher than that.
Yeah. Well,
But I've also known there were times I've dropped 2 episodes in a week. I don't normally do that. I don't like to do that.
yeah.
That was in the beginning. I was like, oh, I'll throw another episode out there. Now I'm like, one a week is fine, you know.
Well, your outside responsibilities have grown also, so you don't have
True, true.
the time and the luxury to do that. But the preparation doesn't go away. You're
It
always thinking
doesn't.
of something to do.
Always, yeah. And matter of fact, that's probably more important than actually executing the show. If I can be honest with you, it's getting the social media out there, getting the word of mouth out there, not being redundant and not being like just generic. You got to think outside the box. So sometimes, like even on our thing, like if we're on Instagram or TikTok, yeah, I'm posting clips of the shows, and yeah, I'm posting ads for the next show. But sometimes I just go on there and I'll just shoot a video from, I don't know, maybe I'm at a new restaurant and I'm like, hey guys, check this out. And nothing to do with the show, but it still makes sense for where our cities are. We're in Frisco, we're in McKinney. Maybe there's a new restaurant in McKinney.
Right.
I'm there. Hey guys, this is Brandon from Trash Talk. I got to tell Stuart about this restaurant. You got to be creative and get people engaging. Otherwise, they're going to stop following.
Well, yeah, that's why there are, and there's nothing against it. There's an awful lot of podcasts out there that are just focused on one thing. If it's, a business type of a podcast and everything, then you're always talking about that business week after week after week.
Absolutely.
And there are some people that will do that. There's a lot of businesses that are doing it because it's a great way to reach out to people. Uh, you know, we, on the other hand, are always trying to look on the other side of that.
Yes.
I mean, we can talk about just, you know, how would you like to be living on the moon?
Right.
What would it be like? Well, okay, just be yourself, just be creative. There are times that we have tackled some topics that
100%.
are
100%.
hard for us to discuss, and we discuss them in our way. And sometimes people will say, "I don't agree with you guys." Click.
Hmm.
But that's your right to do it. But
Yeah.
I kind of prefer the other stuff,
I
like
think we have to, yeah. I think my biggest thing is every now and then I feel like it's time to just kind of dial it in and throw something out there that's more serious. But I also, that hasn't been our show consistently. And I think if we do too much of that, then it just becomes noise and the message gets lost.
yeah, yeah. So
So,
so
anyway,
we resort back to things like designing a new studio.
yes, which, as you can see, I've done very well with the walls here.
Yes, but you did
It,
a very nice job of putting those two corners
it
together.
was difficult, but now I look at it and I go, what if I had a corner shelf here? One of those like
Yeah.
little, and then I could put stuff on it. And see, now I got a whole new idea.
Yeah, like one of those things that you put in your tub shower.
Yeah, but it's
You know,
like a wooden one, and then I could put different things on here. Then you
yeah.
have the eggshells around it. See, guys, I have ideas,
Yeah.
and I don't have a bank account for those ideas, but I have ideas. Yeah.
That's you need to hire the Property Brothers to come in and do you a redo.
I just need someone to do it for me and go, Brandon, this is what it looks like. And I go, perfect, let's go.
Yeah. No, but I like the corner shelf idea. You can put a little single cup coffee maker back there, put your
Something,
coffee cups up there.
just, yeah. And then
So
have stuff around me and all that. Because I don't mind being in the corner. It's kind of nice.
you've gotten used to it over the years.
Yeah. My chair fits in here, you know?
There you go.
So
Well,
anyway,
we thank you for spending a little bit of time with us today, and tune again next week because, as we say, we may have a big reveal for you. And
probably not, but
and see,
hey.
but yeah, there again, it could be a work in progress. So, go out and make it a good one. We'll see you again next week.
See
Bye.
ya.